Hi, welcome to the Mammoth Tech Show. I'm Jeff. Now, this is my old tablet. It's a Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1 and he's about 4 years old, served very faithfully but it's definitely showing his age. So I've been looking for a replacement. And here it is, my new Android tablet. It's a Windows laptop. Wait, what? Okay, I admit it, it's a bit of an odd choice for a replacement for an Android tablet. And if you've seen our review of the Lynx gaming tablet, you'll know that Microsoft Windows and low-powered mobile processors are not a match made in heaven. But will this gilded Pentium in a laptop come tablet form cut the mustard? This is not the first time we've looked at a 2-in-1 tablet stroke laptop. The Chromebook from Asus we looked at last year performs the same transformational trickery. But when I was looking in the store at Chromebooks and their rivals, my attention was drawn towards this Yoga 520 from Lenovo. What caught my eye initially was the excellent screen, but it also felt pretty well built and was, more importantly, very responsive. So I decided to make the leap and take a chance on Windows. So what we're looking at is the Yoga 520-14IKB, which presumably doesn't stand for Isambard Kingdom Brunel, because this is definitely not Steam powered. What it's actually powered by is an Intel Pentium Gold 4415U running at 2.2 GHz. There's 4 gigs of DDR4 RAM, Intel HD 610 graphics and a 128GB SSD. And it runs extremely well, very fast and responsive thanks to that SSD. But does its Pentium heart let it down? Well, firstly, this is not your grandpa's old Pentium. This is actually a version of Intel's 8th generation 2017 Kaby Lake processor with 2 physical cores and hyperthreading giving it a further 2 logical cores. Obviously, this was never designed to be a gaming powerhouse, but let's see how it does. To compare, if you saw our review of the atom-powered Lynx Vision Windows gaming tablet, you may recall that the 3D score marks were not really anything to write home about. Let's hope the Yoga does a little better. The Lynx Vision scored 1636 on the CloudGate test, and the flexible Yoga tablet gets a much more respectable 3951. Firestrike was a slideshow on the Lynx Vision, scoring a miserable 214, and this Pentium powered machine also gets badly burned, but comes out with a slightly better 502. So those are the raw numbers, but how does it feel to use? The Yoga 520 actually feels great to use, fast, responsive and able to handle the types of tasks I've been throwing at it so far with ease. Clearly, if you are trying to do more serious jobs requiring a bit more grunt, like video editing, things would start to slow down, and that 128GB SSD would fill up pretty fast. But as long as you're sensible with what you do with it, then this Pentium powered beast will work out fine. But what about the physical nuts and bolts? Well, the top deck of the laptop's lower half, the bit with the keys in that you actually touch and rest your hands on, is a nice solid metal, and those keys are good to use too. There's dual band wireless AC, a decent sized touchpad, 2 USB 3 ports, a nicely convenient SD card slot, a HDMI socket, a headphone audio jack, and surprisingly even a USB-C port. There are Harman audio speakers, a fingerprint scanner, Lenovo Active Pen compatibility and up to 7 hours of battery life, all in a rather nice 1.74 kilo package. This is the bottom of the Yoga 520 series scale, and if you do need more power, then there are i3 and i5 options which might suit you better. In fact, if you are comparing this Pentium Gold model with the i3, then look carefully at the price. If you can find this machine at a good price, then it's definitely worth going for. But if there's not a lot between them price wise, then you may want to plump for the extra CPU grunt of the i3 model. Now at the top of the show, you may recall I talked about this machine's excellent displays, and this brings us to a rather odd aspect of this machine. Now you see, if you look on Lenovo's website, it'll tell you that the Pentium Gold model has a 768 line display, but this machine doesn't. It actually has a 1080 Full HD screen. Odd, huh? This is a good example of why you should never assume specs. Always check the retailer's details, because you never know, they may turn out to be different to how you expected. But what about using it as an actual tablet? Well, obviously it's a bit bulkier and heavier than your normal 10-inch tablet, but that bigger screen really is nice for watching content. I guess it's a bit of a trade-off really. So the Pentium version of this Yoga 520 does deliver, but it's the solid state drive that really makes a difference, making boot time and general operation nice and responsive. If you're in the market for a low-end Windows laptop, then prioritize a SSD over some extra RAM, a little bit of extra GPU or storage. It'll make all the difference. So, this has been the Yoga 520. I've been Jeff Birch, this has been the Mammoth Tech Show, and you've been very kind to watch. Thank you very much.
Oh.